I'm not feeling well. I've been having a really severe allergic reaction to something. I went through so many tissues between, I think it was yesterday or the night before last night. So definitely yesterday. It could have been also on Tuesday night, but definitely, no, definitely Wednesday, Thursday, and then today. I'm having an allergic reaction to something. This isn't normal. When I was outside, I didn't have this reaction, but in the apartment, I'm having this severe allergic reaction. A lot of runny nose. My eyes were itching last night, so much so that you can tell this one looks darker because I was just rubbing my eyes. You can tell that this one looks darker, and then my nose keeps running, that I'm sneezing. But so I won't do too long of a video today, but I wanted to tell you I found a CBS Texas news report that says hearing voices may be a good thing, that some people in the population can make out the sounds, and they talked about some things in it that some of the words I should have just written so that I could tell you what they were. But it does sound a lot like the information we have already about people who can hear voices, whereas some people can, they said, can tell the difference between these sounds and words, and that those people who could tell the difference between those sounds and words, unlike the other group that couldn't, would be able to make out exactly what's being heard. So that's something that's really important, and I want you guys to see it, so I'm going to put that in the description. There was something else about that report I wanted to say, but what I'm telling you now is that if this is something that's not just happening to me, and it's happening to other people, and it's been reported in the news, they're journalists. So unlike me, I'm just telling you things, what I think, you know, linking other information. They're journalists, they double check everything. So it can't be something that's just happening to me now or just happened to a few people. I'm not in Texas, and they reported it in Texas. So it must be happening to different people in different places. So I think that's really important. I think a lot of us felt at one point that no one would believe us. We looked insane. No one reported on it. Every time I find a news report, a lawsuit, or information that's not connected to just regular people, then we know it's been reported before. We're not alone. We're not the only ones. And it doesn't make us look or sound crazy. What I'm feeling now is, as they try to scare me, because they keep trying to scare me in a way that doesn't scare me. They're really upset because I am West Indian American, that makes me different from them. And they talked about race a lot. And they said, for some reason, I don't get some of the medical conditions they get. I think that's all part of their trick. Partly what they wanted to do is they said, I'm going to come off looking like I'm conceited. And they said years ago they tried to teach me not to be conceited. But they also said they tried to teach me that the same conditions I have now are the conditions that I had years ago. I've never had this type of allergic reaction to something, ever. And they even admit that. So they said that something, they're upset now that I'm sharing these stories with you. So every time I share a story that they claim happened with you, they try to get me to fear that my memory isn't right or something, or that I'm telling too much. If something, I keep saying this, if something happened publicly in a public place, then who cares? It was done in public. So they tried to say that I tried to shame someone who sat next to me. Now the bus was empty and there were a lot of other seats, and someone sat next to me one morning on my way to work, and you you could tell she had a cat. And people are upset by this, but it's common. People like me who have severe allergies to cats, doesn't mean we have allergies to everything, but you can tell when someone has a cat because it makes you have an allergic reaction. I can't go into work like this. Okay, I can't. So they said I tried to shame her for having a cat. No, all I did was I was talking to someone on the phone who happened to be the elementary school mate, and we were talking about something. And when the woman sat next to me, I was allergic to the elementary schoolmate's cat, but the reaction I had was not as severe as this. And so that could have been when I was working at Saks. So that would have been sometime. It was definitely after about 2004, because I used to wear a uniform before. So from maybe 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, sometime in that range. And she knows that I have this allergy to cats. So when the woman sat next to me, and there were a lot of open seats, but I was in a double seat near the window, and she sat next to me. Um, I said, "Excuse me, do you have a cat by any chance?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm allergic to cats. Do you mind if I switch my seat? You can still have this seat, but I could switch my seat someplace else." And she was like, "Okay, fine." So she understood. And I think there's something in them that doesn't want me to be human enough to realize I can be sick. I can have allergies. Doesn't mean I'll always have allergies, but I can have an allergic reaction to something. And just because you have an allergic reaction to something doesn't mean you'll always have an allergic reaction to something. But again, this is a good time to explain that story to you folks. Do you see how I look? I can't work like this, especially when you work with the public and people don't know what exactly you have. There's something else that they wanted to shame me about. You notice how that was using shame again. So they said I was making the woman feel uncomfortable. Not only did I not make her feel uncomfortable, but she understood exactly. I think partially because I told her the reason why. And so she not only didn't feel uncomfortable, but I think when I got up to leave or something like that, we even acknowledged each other again. So they said that was a setup that the woman sat next to me. But you can see right now how sick I am just by this allergic reaction. And I can't function this way. You can't go into work and explain to everyone you meet, "Oh, I'm allergic to cats." Okay, so I'm going to keep this short because I'm already losing my voice. But I wanted to show you how whatever they put in my apartment causes this severe allergic reaction. And this completely ruins their lie that I made someone feel uncomfortable who had a cat. Thank you for watching.